Hey, how you doing today? My name is Relyea and thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're playing Hollow Knight and I want to show you every single charm interaction in the game. And the first thing I want to do is start off with the most OP charm in the game, and that is of course the Wayward Compass. It actually stacks with every single charm in the game. Doesn't matter what you do, no matter what you pick, all of a sudden, boom, you've got an amazing build, and that's because Wayward Compass is here. Look, all these charms are here and boom, Wayward Compass is making them extremely amazing, extra OP, and that's allowing us to see our location on the map and all kinds of secret things that I can't even tell you about. So the comments down below will tell you everything that Wayward Compass does, and they'll keep it to you straight. They're not going to lie to you. You can believe anything that they say down in the comments. The first charm I want to take a look at today is the Fluke Nest, and before we actually use this one, if you use your Shade Soul or your Vengeful Spirit, you can see it's just that normal Spirit Blast, but when you actually go to use this charm, it changes things up a little bit, and it transforms the Vengeful Spirit spell into a horde of volatile baby flukes, and this thing's super powerful. Oh, I should actually put it on first. When we actually equip the charm, it's super powerful, and look at that. It puts all these baby flukes out, and it works kind of like a shotgun. So let me show you real quick. Watch this. Look, 2 flukes. He's done. He's done. Now if we come back and we actually add on the Shaman Stone, check this out. Boom! Only one! It only took one attack and it took him out. That is awesome. Another addition you can make to this is if you add on the Defender's Crest. Check this out. Boom! Look at that. And it also releases a bunch of toxic gas. Alright, check this out. Boom! It didn't take him out in one hit, but it does do a wide area of effect. Took a 3rd hit, so yeah, maybe this one's not the best, but if you're doing a bunch of enemies in a wide area, I don't know, it's kind of fun. The next set of charms that we're going to look at are going to deal with how fast we move, and specifically it's going to be the Dash Master and the Sprint Master in the way they stack. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at how fast we run just normally. So now let's see what it looks like when we add the Sprint Master, and what this is going to do is increase run speed by roughly 20%. Look at that, much faster. Now what happens if we do Sprint Master with the Dash Master? And this is further going to increase movement speed bonus to about 37%. So you're just shy of a 40% movement speed increase. That's quick. Another combo you can do with this is instead of doing Dash Master, Sprint Master, if you do Dash Master with the Sharp Shadow, instead of doing a 1x of your nail when you use your Sharp Shadow, it's going to do a 1.5 times damage. So it's like a nail and a half for every hit with your nail, every time you use your Sharp Shadow. So right here, boom! Just like that. It just deals a lot more damage, which is super helpful, especially if you're fighting bosses and stuff like that. Just right through them. A lot of these guys, sometimes they take 2 hits, but not when you've got the Sharp Shadow and Dash Master. The next charm setup is only for the Mad Lads, and this one right here is going to do the Fury of the Fallen. And so what this is going to do is it's going to increase nail damage by 75%, but only when you have 1 HP. What's really cool is if you add on the Glowing Womb, it's going to increase the hatchling's damage when you're at 1 mask. If we go ahead and add on the Unbreakable Strength, this is going to make your damage increase, instead of 75% bonus damage, a bonus damage of 162.5 increase in damage, which is massive. And last but not least, if we increase this to the Grubberfly's Elegy, it's going to make it so you fire red projectiles when you're at 1 health, producing a 70% nail damage increase, and that's before you add on the Unbreakable Strength. So you can add this on as well. And also, you can actually add on Mark of Pride and make it so in that way your projectiles are even bigger when you're using Grubfly's Elegy. So all of these can stack in their own way. These two stack against each other, and then this works with both of these. So let's go take a look at how this works. So the only way that this charm combo works is if you get down to 1 health. So that's what I'm saying. Only the maddest of lads, you have to be like insane to be able to do this build, because I personally, I can't do it. I don't like running around with just 1 health. That just would drive me absolutely insane. All right, so here we are. Look at that. So we have the red shots. They do more damage. Everything's dealing more damage at this point. We're about as maxed out on damage as we possibly can be. So let's see if we can get through this area right here. Oh, I'm so nervous just like coming through all here. Ah! Just because 1 hit, that's all it takes. But I guess if you can take these guys out super quick. I don't know. Even just having the red stuff around the screen is just giving me the feels. I'm like, oh man. Alright, well, guess it's making things easy enough. So what's interesting is Grubberfly's Elegy actually works a lot with a bunch of different charms. So if you don't know what this does is, when you're at full HP, your nail attacks shoot a projectile, dealing 50% rounded down of your nail damage per hit. So if you don't know what this is, it looks like this. It just shoots these little things, right? But if we also add on the Mark of Pride, it just gets bigger. You see that? Very cool. What else is really cool with this is if you use it in combination with Grubsong, whenever you take damage, instead of only getting 10 soul, you're going to go all the way up to 25 soul received every time you take damage. And so remember how this thing only works when you're at full health? Well, there's a really cool thing that you can do with the Lifeblood Core, which is this one right here, the Lifeblood Core, and also the Lifeblood Heart. And so what's going to happen is if you have either one of these equipped, Grubfly's Elegy only counts mask health as full health. So by using the Lifeblood Core or the Lifeblood Health, taking damage will not remove Grubfly's Elegy's effect. So let me show you what I mean by that. See how at the top we've got 4 extra masks? Well, if we go take damage, well, this is going to just keep working even if we take damage, because we still have mask health, right? So it's not until we lose all of the blue, and even now we still have mask health, but if we take 1 more damage, now we lose that extra ability. One that I'm sure you guys already know, here's your regular nail. If you add on the long nail, which is this one right here, it's going to increase your nail range by 15%. And then if we add on the Mark of Pride, this is going to increase your nail length by 25%, and putting them on together increases your nail length by 40%. And this is going to make it so you can get enemies from super far away. So Baldur's Shell, it's kind of a funky charm. If you've never used it before, it makes it so that way when you're going to heal, it kind of gives you the shell that protects you. Look at that. So I didn't take any damage. Oop, and just hold the heal button. There you go. And it protects you, right? Well, it actually has a ton of combinations. So first off, it will stack with the Stalwart Shell, and this is going to make it so in that way it takes longer before you can actually take damage again. So this will apply to your shell. Also, if you mix this up with the Shape of Oon, it's going to make it so you can crawl around and still have that shell. So take a look at this. Look at that. Now you're like a snail thing instead of a slug thing. You can also mix this up with the Spore Shroom, and this is gonna put a I don't know, mushroom on your back. Boom, and you're still gonna cast off your spore. Just like that. The other charm you can throw on this is the Thorns of Agony, and even if you don't take damage, as long as your shell takes damage, the Thorns of Agony is gonna trigger. So we'll come over to the same guy, we'll throw on this, boom. And it also triggers faster, which is kind of interesting. There we go. So, and then at the top left, as you see, the shell can only take so much damage, and right now it's actually broken, so it does not last forever. So right now I don't have the shell active. And last but not least, for the bladder shell, I don't have the carefree melody, but what it will do is make it so that your counter will increase from hits as long as your shell does take damage, and it will protect you, so in that way once the carefree melody can activate faster, I don't know, that's kind of a funky charm. The only charm I didn't talk about when using the Shape of Un is actually the Quick Focus, and if you add on the Quick Focus, it's going to make it so you move a lot faster and you heal faster as well. 50% faster, and also that movement speed goes way, way up too. That as opposed to just normal. Oh, it feels so slow now. So next up is the Glowing Womb, and there's a couple of different interactions and things with this one. So if you haven't seen what this one is, it will basically bring out hatchlings that will attack for you. So these little guys right here, these are the regular hatchlings, and there are ways to actually turn these into exploding hatchlings if you use the right charms. So the way that you turn them into exploding hatchlings is you actually use the Defender's Crest. So we add on this right here, and we'll take a look at what these guys look like. So, and when you change rooms, they change from the regular hatchlings to the exploding hatchlings. That's kind of cool. So let's see these guys in action. So just so you know, the regular hatchlings cost 8 soul and they deal 9 damage each. Another thing that you can add on with this one is the Fury of the Fallen. And what this is going to do is it's going to increase any spawned hatchling's contact damage by 5, but only when you're on 1 HP. The last charm that you can add on, which I don't have right now because it goes away once you get the Void Heart, is the King's Soul. And what it's going to do is it's going to balance with the cost of creating the Glowing Womb. So basically you're going to always be able to have hatchlings spawning constantly, essentially, as long as you have the King's Soul. The next charm we're going to take a look at is the Spore Shroom, and what this does is when you go to focus, it releases a cloud of spores dealing 1 damage per tick. The cloud lasts 4.1 seconds, allowing for 27 ticks of damage, and there's about a 4.25 second of cooldown before being able to use Spore Shroom again. So it looks like this when you normally use it. And even if you were to go to heal again right away, it doesn't do another thing. You have to wait until you get that little click, and boom, you can do it again. What this does stack with is 2 different charms. So if you use the Defender's Crest, which is right here, the Defender's Crest actually works quite a bit. This is going to make it so you actually do 2 ticks of damage per tick, and the cloud lasts 4.1 seconds. However, the tick frequency is decreased, allowing for only 20 ticks for a total of 40 damage. So it looks like this. So it also changes the way it looks. It looks a heck of a lot stinkier, right? The next charm that can interact with Spore Shroom is the Deep Focus, and what this is going to do is increase the Spore cloud radius by 35%. So if we do it over here, boom, much bigger. Takes a little longer for it to trigger, but it's a lot bigger. And again, this will also trigger with the Defender's Crest, and we can have just this giant big old stinky cloud just like that. So the next charm we're going to take a look at is the Weaversong, and what they're going to do is summon 3 small Weaverlings that attack enemies for 3 damage per hit. But the way that we can stack this is we can add the Grubsong. It's going to make it so Weaverlings give the knight 3 soul whenever they damage enemies. So this is going to be great just to be able to collect more and more soul. Also what you can do is increase the Weaverlings' movement speed by 50% whenever you use the Sprint Master. This means that they can attack enemies from further away, they can jump faster and further. It's just a heck of a lot better. Just look at their movement speed now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, these guys are ready to go. The next set of charms we're going to look at is the Dream Shield with the Dream Wielder. So if we use just the Dream Shield by itself, this is how big it is. And if we add on the Dream Wielder, this one right here, it's going to make it 15% bigger, and it's going to regenerate faster. Alright, so let's take a look at the shield normally. 1, 2. Alright, so that's normal. Now if we add on the Dream Wielder, we'll see how much faster it recharges. Alright, we'll go to the same spot. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Maybe a hair faster, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, if it actually recharges faster. Ah! It doesn't help with those guys. Alright, so next what I'm going to do is take some ideas off of the Steam community forums. I found this one. I'll leave a link down in the description below. And anything that I missed, I will add on right now. So they say to add on the Lifeblood charm here and also the Joni's Blessing. And so what this is going to do is make it so it turns all masks into Lifeblood combs, essentially making it your life automatically but slow healing, and there you go. So every 10 seconds your life will heal. So let's see what happens. I wonder if we take 2 damage if it will continue to heal. Because normally you can only take 1 damage and then after that it won't heal anymore. Alright, so it does work the same way, but it just turns all of your masks into Lifeblood core masks, as opposed to not doing that. I thought it was going to keep healing. The next one they call the Nail Master's Fury. So if you do the Fury of the Fallen and Nail Master's Glory, they're saying that if you're at 1 mask, it will increase your nail arts by a certain percentage. Kind of interesting. Alright, and so with that, I believe that is every secret charm combination that I could possibly find in Hollow Knight. Let me know down in the comments below, what other charm combinations am I missing? Like the secret ones that you wouldn't normally think that stack together, like the ones that I showed in this video. I would love to know what you guys have found or what just works really, really well for you. I know that you guys just love learning about the charms and just how to get better at the game. So yeah, the comments are the way to go. You guys help out so much with each other, and it is just awesome the way to see this community growing. Also, don't forget that the Wayward Compass stacks with absolutely everything. Again, the best charm in the game. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and click on the playlist over on the top left-hand side if you want to learn even more about the different charms and where you can find them, and I'll catch you in the next video.